there we go. Enough adjusting myself. I wasn't actually talking. I was just adjusting myself, but Discord logs picking up every little nook and cranny of when I move, so that's all that was. I didn't get any water. I'm sure. Oh yeah, we are now back to it. The main plot is that no Hanafuda, though I was love to play a little bit more. I would love to, but not right now. Not right now. That is not our main topic today. Right? Not our focus today. Not our focus today. Our focus is now the main story. Again. So which makes my audio is good, and then we're just gonna get right into it. Yes, you're good. We are golden, even. Almost yawned. It's been a bit of a long day. Let me see here. Alright. I don't remember story-wise the last thing we did. What was it? I think it was something to do with cotton, but I don't know. I don't remember. Thank you, Angela. Also, thanks for joining. We talked to Karen at church. Okay, that's good to know. But she's back again, though. So there's more. I guess we just go to the... I don't think there's anything left, right? There's no new stuff. Right? I don't think there's anything left. We've pretty much gotten everything then. In terms of the little mini events. You're right though. We always should just check just in case. You're right, you're right. I don't have to check nighttime once. Gaming? Yeah, we are on a... I don't have to check nighttime once. Let's see. Nothing? Okay. Well, I'm not gonna check nighttime ever again. Because it usually does change. Alright. Let's see here. Got some of the temple. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. What? Nothing. 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 Final day. Nothing. Nothing. Completely dry. The funnies are over, chat. Now we're serious mode. The funnies are over. No more ha-has. Excuse me. Have it empty? Yeah, I can understand that. Hold on. Stomach's not agreeing with my stomach isn't agreeing much with me today, so I assume that's part of it. What I just felt. I'll be fine now. Let's see. Well, main plot it is. Who's at the bridge? I'm pretty sure I can do this in any order, so. It's no more ha-has, and there's definitely no yahoos. But at the bridge, something strange catches my eye. Up in my tracks, I observe for a bit. I still have absolutely no idea what this person's doing or even planning to do. Oh. It depends on who it is. Thankfully, there's no one else around. I don't need to question this suspicious character. I climb up the steel frame to get closer. Maybe he's quiet on the upper deck. No street closures or anything. There isn't a single car to be seen. Oh! So you don't exist for any of the hee-hoo-ha-has? But like, you exist for the. I suppose that makes. God fucking damn it. That makes sense, doesn't it, chat? Of course, Archer is here for the serious content, not the hee-hoo-ha's. God damn it. This then suspicious-looking man. Only there's an Archers around? Yeah, which is unfortunate. Bro, I live here. Not that this is any different from the usual, but I'm impressed once again. Your along so poor that ends up being a relief instead. Aha, my bad, he does seem like the type. Regular humans would be plain terrified at this height, wouldn't they? Something wrong with being a living creature that feels no fear in the spot where one false step will leave you plummeting to your death. No, not going to mention any names. He's giving me such a bitch, do I look like I asked kind of attitude, like, god damn, Archer. It's like, bro, does it look like I asked you any of this you're telling me? Could you stop talking? Right, of course. Alright. Looked like neither one of us could stand for the conversation. We both grew silent. I would feel a certain kind of sympathy established between us by those last words. Right. Burp, excuse me. Are you referencing London Bridge? Because why are you referencing London Bridge specifically? I get London Bridge is falling down, but that is so extremely oddly specific that I'm wondering why you're mentioning it. Well, yeah, no. Bringing about decisive change requires the help of others, is what he seems to be saying. The problem is, the only other who seems like to have any involvement with Emi Ashiro's actions on that reportedly unlucky bridge, it's the very same devil who would push him off. Right. Look at him. With that jolly smile on his face. Don't talk about this like it's someone else's problem. Well, you tell me. It's an event that's already come to pass. As a result of a confrontation that had nothing to do with either of us, I made sure unable to cross the bridge changed into able to cross instead. Not only can Emi sure be stopped from crossing the bridge at night. However, Archer remains. Want to stay here, doing this over and over again until the Holy Grail War continues? I wonder why. Oh gee, Archer, I too wonder why.
いや、気が変わったというより、やるべきことが見えたというべきか。
Uh-huh.
それは聖杯戦争を続けようってやつと戦うってことか。
I'm guessing so.
俺は初めからその敵だけに照準を絞ってきたつもりだがな。ビルの屋上から街を監視していたのもその一環だ。
Ah.
信徒に侵入する使い魔を今まで何度撃ち抜いてきたか。
You've been fighting. I appreciate that.
使い魔ってあの犬みたいな怪物を。
I mean, you could stop all of them. I mean, there's a lot of them. I don't blame him, but jeez.
ああ、おかしな話だが、何日も繰り返している気がする。それが無意味だと気づいたのは、さて、いつのことだったか。昨日か、それとも今か。
Reason the archer realized it was meaningless is something he himself doesn't seem to be aware of. This is there's no connection between myself from last time and the self here now. Archer's previous and current actions are similarly unconnected.
そうか。どちらにせよ、屋上からの狙撃はやめたんだな。何匹も狙撃したんで飽きたとか？
I'm guessing.
飽きるか。確かに、同じことを繰り返してきたように思える。だがな、たとえ昨日と何一つ変わらない。
Yeah, that's nice attitude.
意味を感じなくなるほどに飽きるということはない。飽きる飽きないで狙撃を続けるのなら、俺は何十年と同じことを繰り返しただろう。
Yep.
何一つ変わらない。もう新しいことが起きないとしてもか？
Even if no change was ever going to happen, you'd still do it?
無論だ。
Yep.
現実は読み飽きた本とは違う。たとえ同じことの繰り返しでも何もないということはない。
Yep.
もし仮にあの繰り返しを飽きたというやつがいるのなら、そいつは何億、いや何兆回の聖杯戦争を繰り返してきたのだろうな。
That sounds familiar. Surely you're not talking about Bazet or something. Only through it trillions of times, huh? But Archer, you're going through that repetition hundreds of millions of times. Looks like you're tired of sniping. Same with me. For the Toska, it's less a loop than a restart. I have no way of knowing just what number I am in the long series of Amy Shiro who's failed.
まあいいや。それで、狙撃をやめたお前はなんでここにいるんだよ。今度は橋でも壊す気か？
Wouldn't be that hard.
さて、正直まだ確信は持てないのだが。
It's about what? Listen in the distance. Those hawk eyes, I can see an enemy 1,000 miles away. Looking out at Miyama. What's the mountain behind Ryodu Temple?
まあ、老婆神というやつだ。仮にそうだとしても、ここに居座る義理もないしな。一応、万が一のために地の利を確保しているだけだよ。
Fair enough.
地の利の確保？なんだよ。やっぱり戦う気満々じゃないか。
Hey, what's so wrong with that, huh?
危惧しているのはお前ではない。信徒に群がる使い魔たちのことだ。先ほどの話では、お前も見たことがあるようだが。
Sure have, followed him too. Seeing them is the least of it. I'm been killed by those bastards who knows how many times. An unidentifiable swarm of beasts. The fourth day turns the night, they spread over for you can see like a black stain until they're blotted out entirely. I think Archer also treats them as an enemy.
そうか。狙撃していたのはあいつらを仕留めるためなんだっけ？
Well, yeah.
ああ。だがそれもやめた。あの怪物たちは倒しきれない。いや、そもそも倒す必要がない。あれは無害だ。放っておけば勝手に消える。
Oh, but everyone dies though.
は？
No need to defeat them to begin with.
そんなわけあるか。あいつらは夜に暴れ回って犠牲者を出してるじゃないか。
何を言っている？ そんな騒ぎになれば他の連中も黙ってはいまい。何を勘違いしているかは知らんが、犠牲者は一人も出ていないはずだが。
What? Wait, but Archie, you don't. Wait, hold on. Archie, you don't know that because of the loop. Or the restart, whatever. How do you know there's no victims? Do you know for a fact that there are no victims? For a fact, you know this. I mean, yeah, if it restarts, there are no victims, yes, but like... You know for a fact that there's no victims. You sound for sure I'm utterly surprised. Weren't humans killed by the monsters? No. That is correct. The maggots and the servant don't exist in this town. The same way the people killed by the monsters didn't exist here in the first place.
そういえばそうだったな。けど、無害ってのは言い過ぎだろう。あいつらは。
人は殺さない。ただ徘徊するだけだ。もっとも、目的はあるようだが、あの怪物たちは何かをしたくて街に現れるように見える。
Devin did not fall asleep. Hi, Minnan. Don't worry about it. Hi. Well, I mean, Archer, I'm pretty sure they're out to kill Shiro. From what the last confrontation was anything like. But I don't know anymore. That's the conclusion the Cern who has sniped many thousands of monsters came to.
さて、邪魔が入ったが、大体のポイントは掴んだ。夫人を敷くとしたら、やはりあのアーチの上か。
That goddamn back. Finish with the inspection, which relieves the overpass.
あまり道草をするなよ。この聖杯戦争は、お前が主体だ。いつまでも主役が舞台に出ないのでは、劇も終わりようがない。
Alright, I get you. Shifting into spirit form, Archer disappears without bothering to get down to the footbridge. Stand on the empty road. Stage devoid of the actors. I'll just have a purpose. Those words refuse to leave my head. Oh, neato. Nothing. Alright, next day. I guess I'll just save the church for last. Like, because I don't know who's at the temple here in a second. Yeah, like, she was the only one they're actually trying to kill, so like, I don't get it. Sad cotton noises, right? Alright, Media, you're next. And then we're going to the church. See, Caster. Come to think of it, it's not usual to find her meditating here. I wonder if there's something she's thinking about. Look at the popcorn. Oh, it's gonna be that long?
前、聖杯戦争について聞いたときは突っぱねられたけど。
Maybe now's the right time. Perhaps we'll be able to hear the real story from her. Right. Asking for the real story? What am I saying? What do you ask, Caster? Everything I needed to ask. If I question any further, I might end up touching upon the truth. That's too reckless. No matter how much she prefers living a peaceful life, she's still a natural-born witch. She will eliminate mercilessly anything that does not serve her interests. She's sweeping away the dust before her, without hesitation. Let my guard down. What's living amongst someone whose very existence is something that hurts others? Showing any weakness at all is fatal.
そう。あいつは裏切りの魔女メディア。人間の敵として祭り上げられた繁栄優。
Hey, come on now. I recall the myth. Princess of sorcery who received the teachings of the Great Witch. The cunning witch behind the demise of many countries in the Age of Gods. Oh. We're just gonna get a lore dump? What the fuck? I mean, sure, but sure. Lore dump it is. I'm not gonna complain. Princess Media. daughter of Aetes. I'm guessing that's what that says. Oh, she looks adorable. She does. I probably need the other text for this. Hold on. Alright, we're gonna need to go one more. Colchis, the edge of the east, the Greek world on the eastern coast of the Black Sea. A sorceress who received the teachings of Hecate, goddess of magic, a princess who led a sheltered life as a king's daughter. The innocent princess who was raised unbeknownst of the outside world was plenty content with just that. She didn't want wings to set herself free, nor did she long for the vast outside world. She loved the country she was raised in. She was satisfied living her whole life in the mountains. Hi, Crisis. Let me see. Oh, Aetes. Oh, okay. That's not okay. I can remember that. That's fine. Back to the one. I can remember that. That's not a problem at all. With the arrival of heroes seeking glory, the girl's hopes were shattered. They left the mountains, eh? Oh, you're right. Huh. Captain of the Argo appeared from the outside world. Jason, the hero who arrived seeking the treasure of Colchis, the Golden Fleece, who caused Medea to betray her country. Oh, Jason, I remember you from our FGO days. You were a pain in the ass. Need the Medea backstory? Yes. We got one for writers, now it's caster's time, I suppose. It's because the goddess aiding Jason, Aphrodite, say it correctly? Main route or side stuff? This is main content. This is main content. What a curse on Medea which caused her to fall blindly in love with him. Ugh. I hate that kind of stuff. Medea betrayed her father. He had to go in the fleece to Jason and escape Colchis with Jason, now her husband. As the king of Colchis pursued the Argo to reclaim his daughter, cursed Medea used magic to tear apart her brother who accompanied them into pieces and scatter them across the sea. Grieving, the king collected his dead son's remains, and Jason and company used the opportunity to put Colchis behind them. Jesus. Like this, the foreign invaders shook off their pursuers. However, it is said that the disquieting atmosphere on the Argo did not fade. So Medea is claimed to be like this great betrayer and all that, but it wasn't even her fucking doing. She didn't even do it willingly. Like, what? And she gets blamed for all this. I mean, she probably does some stuff after this. We just started reading it, obviously. But so far, it's like, she's the great betrayer. Like, she was mind-controlled. That's not... That's not very fair to me. That's not very fair sounding, Captain. That's, I mean, like, I figured she does more, but starting off... The fuck? Great betrayer. I don't know about that one, Chief. The princess who presented her homeland's treasure to the man. The woman who went as far as to kill her own brother for the man she loved. The heroes on the boat unanimously castigated the girl who was the prince of Colchis. As regarding something disgusting and filthy, the heroes avoided the girl. You made her to be like that, and now you're like, ugh, what the? Hold on, you're kind of weird. Like, what? Was it for Medea, whose heart was bound by the goddess' curse? You saw the condemning gaze as no different than a mere sea breeze. She would tell with hearing only Jason's words. I'm sorry, but you've done well, Medea. That's right. As long as she could hear such words from the man she loved, she could endure the hero's disdain. Instead of abandoning her country, sinful betrayal towards her father, punishment of murdering her own brother were all things she could withstand, and yet, not once did she hear such warm words from her husband. Then why the fuck did he want her as a wife? If he's not gonna, you know, give a shit. Return voyage ended without the slightest problem. He made the foreign prince and his wife, returned triumphantly to his own country of Lolkos with the promised golden fleece in hand. What awaited there was the death of his parents and the annulment of the promise. Gee, oh my god, chat, there's a suspicious link. You can't see it, but... Oh, you can actually see it. Oh my god, chat. Must click! Hey, Jason, just discussing waste of oxygen? Yeah. But, fuck! Give my free views. Once the golden fleece is returned, thy throne shall be recognized. Peleus, the king of low cost, who promised this to Jason, Harry laughed it off as a simple play of words. Fueled by rage, Jason commanded his betrothed. He's a cowardly usurper! Kill King Peleus! Right now! Do it! Oh. Deceased by her love towards Jason, Medea was still but a young girl. King of Lolicon? You know, that's... I mean, in FGO, Jason specifically marries Medea Lily, which is a very young version of Medea, so you tell me. The girl who had been shattered by her deed against her brother, Jason repeated insistently, kill King Peleus who broke his vow. Kill the king's relatives. That's right, the king alone will not suffice. Kill that unsightly successor, and the three princesses too! It did not take long for Jason to prepare the assassination. The king and his daughters were invited to Jason's house. The center was the witch's cauldron. Good had been bestowed by the great witch Hecate, a crystallization of secrets in the foundation of mysteries. My good king, we welcome you to our humble abode. For anyone realized, the end had already begun to draw near. Never to resist the man she loved and the curse of the goddess, Medea would use her own magic for the murder of the king. King Peleus, let us feast our eyes on my wife's secret arts. The man she loved said proudly. The girl stirred the cauldron with eyes weary from crying. This would be the secret art of rejuvenation. Magic in which... What's Jason? This would be the secret art of rejuvenation! The magic in which my wife is particularly skilled. This spoke the man who she unknowingly came to love. It beefs do taste funky. Able to oppose, the girl continued the ritual. Let me go back. Hands stirred the cauldron, grew ever so tired, feeling like lead. Come to think of it, from the moment she had put her country behind her, had she ever been able to sleep peacefully? Her mind and body exhausted, she continued on as if surrounded by thick fog. Being this tired made her forget. Being this sad made her dull. Oh. Had she learned magic to do such things? She cut up an aged sheep and placed it into the cauldron. Stir, stir, splash, splash. It melted and disappeared. And then the aged sheep that had lost all shape and figure revived at the hands of Medea. Its skin brilliant, and its eyes full of life. The aged sheep was reborn a lamb. King, impressed, requested that he be rejuvenated as well. Then the girl spoke. She was instructed by the man she loved. For that purpose, the body must first be cut apart. This art requires that you die once. The king, fearless, ordered the three daughters he loved so to perform the dire deed. That's fucked up. Jason, you are a sick man. Jesus Christ. I get Medea that obviously said this, but it still comes back to Jason on this. You are a sick fucking man. Good lord. Three princes cut their father to pieces. The king was thrown into a cauldron, and then... I saw it! I saw it! This fiendish dog is carving up their own father. Their father did not revive. Every princess cried and screamed. The man she loved then bound the women. The gods never forgive the sin of patricide. Daughters of King Peleus, take up your own lives. The daughters cried and shouted. The mythical king, when immortality crossed the blood of 30 virgins, toward the blood relatives and dog born from Mercury, and retrograde and their own soul. Easy money! Time to kill I'ma kill myself. Like, damn, say less. Why has this happened? They cried out. They pleaded for forgiveness, not from the gods, but from their father, the king, who they had killed. The unfamiliar man called Jason did not forgive him. Did not forgive even one of them. Goddess' curse vanished at that moment. Her clouded heart finally cleared up. It was too late. Betraying her country, killing her brother, killing the king for trickery, going as far as to let 3 innocent princesses die. That day, the girl had undoubtedly transformed into a witch. By no choice of her own, mind you. Not even her own choice. Just want to get that out there. Aphrodite and something Mahoyo, real. Aphrodite and Jason, you're a sick bunch of bastards. I just wanted to know that. You're a sick bunch of bastards. Let me go back. Yes, the Age of Gods is the equivalent of having 1,000,000 Gilgameshes 10 times worse, just cash for committing genocide like it's another Tuesday. Basically. And you have Gilgamesh himself, who's actually not that bad. I mean, that's at the end of the Age of Gods, but still. Then you have Gilgamesh, who himself is not even that bad. Shockingly. After his best friend died. Not that bad. I know, right? I know it sounds crazy saying that, but it's like, Gil was not... I mean... I'm talking obviously straight from FG, from the lore that FGO has given us. In the end, he wasn't. The bar's really the bar's really fucking low, but he was above the bar at least. He was above at least the bar by like a couple millimeters. The splendor of Jason's ascent to the throne lasted but an instant. People learned of the king's murder, and they drove Jason, the foreign witch, out of Lolkos. Jason, who had no place to return to, took the witch and roamed Greece, wandering at last to Corinth. I might have to consider switching out this chair because it is constantly going down. The king of Corinth welcomed Jason, and before long proposed matrimony with his daughter Glaus. Marry Glaus and obtain the kingship of Conrith, or keep the witch's wife and continue to receive the king's protection. Jason did not hesitate. Even though he had begotten 2 children from the witch, it was not enough to keep him near. Wait. Jason had 2 kids with Medea. I didn't even know that part. I didn't even know she actually had children with him. Like, that's news to me. I didn't even know that. Mods, kill this man. You're fucking right. Jason abandoned the witch and ran to Glaus's side. Please don't go. Please don't go. I flew outside my home and country for... I gave up everything for you. Have pity, if not for me, then for the children. I beg you. To the witch who clung tearfully, the man said, What are you trying to say? Was it not your fault that I lost my country? You terrible foreign witch. I never loved you even once. For she knew it, home was too far. All hopes lost. She set onto foreign soil. Let me go back. And so, end of a long journey, her only desire was born. How could it be granted? Everything was but a dream of paradise. The girl became a hideous witch. Not true. Even upon returning home, not a single soul would believe her to be the young princess. She had changed too much. As the castle she lived out her childhood and remained unchanged, surrounded by the same greenery. And then, on the day of the marriage of the man named Jason, midst of countrywide celebration, Corn fell. Glaus, the brow was a golden flames. The hero who was to become the new king was forced again to a life of wandering. The tale that follows is no longer a part of the legend. It said the young man who led the heroes as the captain of the Argo, upon the wreckage of the ship, was crushed to death by its fallen stem post. Fucking Lamau. Not even some ceremonious big defeat or nothing. Bro was just crushed by a post. Fucking Lamau. Deserved. The most pathetic death possible to the most pathetic man possible. Good shit. But the girl he brought home with him became a witch and continued to wander the lands of Greece. Even now, he says over yonder from the ashen shore. Many sins she had accumulated. Let me go back. Many dreams she had left behind. Let me go back. She knew those wishes would never be granted. Did I kill each other? At sight wouldn't kill ya, right? I'm fucking shocked that normal cast member does not kill Jason on sight. To return to my country before I die. As though in atonement, women continued to hope. Ah yes, Medea, the great betrayer, who the acts of betrayal she did was none of her own. Right, of course. Of course. At least from what Stena has not told me, or Ataraxia has not told me. Of course. This news overcame me. Having seen a fragmented dream. Yes. I'll be alright. As long as I'm careful, a conversation should be fine. Thinking of jumping into alliance then out of curiosity. But this time the witch seemed sated. Surely she'd overlook an unpleasant question or two to kill some time. Thank you, I trained a lot, yeah. Had a couple of friendship trainings too doing that. True, true. Just as she says herself, being near castle when there is no one else around is unquestionably dangerous. The real hazard is not the fact that she can use magic without concern of prying eyes, but the fact that she cannot control her emotions while not under the scrutiny of others. Once caster snaps, there's no way to stop her. She may act like a calm witch if an outsider were present. When left alone, her feelings run wild. Well, people do call that being emotionally unstable or delusional. Right, sure, right. Maybe this friend grows ever so slightly heavier. Guess she sort of figured out what it might be about. She's not called me boy even once. This is weird.
長居するのも恐ろしいし、サクッと聞くけどさ、あんたがこの状況を解決する気がないのは分かってる。それに関してはどうこう言う気はない。ただ、一つだけ知りたくなったんだ。あんたほどの魔術師なら、この4日間のことなんて簡単に調べがつく。なら本当の話、あんたは本当のことを知ってるんじゃないのかって。
The truth, huh?
面白いことを言うのね。 私が全てのからくりを知っていると
You are a great magus. Like, no bullshit. You are a fantastic magus. So I'm assuming so, yes. A broad grin spreads across her face. Full opposite of her smile from before. A smile that carries an unmistakable omen of death. Oh, there it is.
残念ながら外れよ坊や
There's the boy. But okay, damn.
確かに初めは手を尽くして危うく天をつかみそうになったわけど今の私はその一歩手前
Okay, so everyone's aware that they're in some sort of weird shit going on now. I say everyone, but at least some big players seem to be aware, like, yeah, the current me can't do it, but I'm sure the next one can. Everyone's pretty much aware now.
ほらお遊戯は全てを知れば終わってしまうでしょだから解明するのはやめてその前に手を離したのよ
Which is fair. You want to stay with Suichiro longer. I can't blame you.
やめておいたね。
Probably for Kuzuki's sake, honestly, yeah.
そりゃ同じことだろ。結局知ってるようなもんじゃないか。
Archer, Rider, Caster, 100% confirmed. Yeah, like, at least they know. They and Shiro, they know for sure. I can guess Saber might have figured that out eventually. And same for the others too, they might have figured it out eventually. Yeah, verdict's still out, but I feel like they figured it out by now.
でもまだ誰にも教えてはいないわ
And not telling anyone keeps it going.
犯人を当ててしまったら事件はおしまいですものこの犯人は何もできないし無理に捕まえる義理もないですからね
Yeah.
なるほど。犠牲者は出ないから感染してるってわけか。そういえば、割と受け身だよな、あんたって。じゃあ、今回もずっと傍観してくれるのか？
私から手を出す気はないと言ったでしょ
You have, it's true.
でも最後の時になったらそう言ってはいられないでしょうね
Which is completely understandable.
終わるというのなら私も黙ってはいない
Yeah.
いえ私じゃなくて私のマスターが
Also fair. Wait, Kuseki, what would Kuseki do though? If everything were to end, what would he what do you mean he would step in? Because he wants to be with Caster? That's or it's something else, I'm guessing. The same thing in the end, sighs Caster. Maybe known as a treacherous witch, but her obedience to her master, Kusuke Soichiro, is absolutely unwavering. Well, you could say she's head over heels for him. He seems to think she's not been found out yet. Well, it's a well-known fact that everyone aside from Kusuke and Caster. When Kusuke Soichiro says assist me to Caster, she would obey regardless of what it was. True. If something goes down, and Kusuke says, you know, like, anything close to assist me or, you know, time to step in, she's getting involved. And she's not leaving till it's over. Or he says otherwise. So, hope it doesn't come to that.
あんたとしては続けたいけど、久月先生が解決すると言ったら手伝うってこと？
そうよ犯人の邪魔はしないけど協力もしない
Hey, honestly, hands in the air, completely fair. That's fair. Fair.
いえできないのよ終わる終わらないは私ではどうにもならないことですからね
Casta, Amy looked at me funny. Alright. Look at your house. Wait, no, hold on. Don't do that.
わかるだからあなたは目障りなの
Right.
続けたいって言うなら飽きるまで続けさせればいいのに自分から邪魔しようとしているんだもの
Caster, I'm gonna be so real with you, you can't hear my voice. I would love for this to continue endlessly. I would love to. Would it get stale at some point? Maybe, I don't know. But I would love for it to keep going, that's for sure. Can I let it though? No. I don't get a choice in the matter.
ほんと何度あなたを殺してやろうと思ったか
Probably lost count.
一応聞いておくけど、今の冗談。
You know it wasn't.
あら私が冗談を口にできる女かどうかあなたは知ってるんじゃなくて
She is very realistic in her statement, so no. Exactly. My back freezes twice over. It wasn't a good idea to stay here for long.
あんたはとことん傍観者だってことは分かったよ。この話はこれっきりにしたいところだけど。な、どうして殺さなかったんだ？一度ぐらいはいいだろうに。
That's a good point, actually. Castor knows that this is like a restarting thing or a loop or something. And yet she's never thought about, today I'll kill Emiya. Just fuck it. Today I'll kill the boy because fuck it, I want to. I'm surprised you haven't done that. Well, no, not really. It's Castor we're talking about. You'd think she'd lose it and skewer me at least once already.
どうしても何も。
Fair?
マスターが一度もそれを望まなかったからに決まっているでしょ。
Fair? She declares flatly. I smiled at her graciousness.
そうか。そうだったな。
That makes sense.
最後にもう一つ聞いとくわ。
One more thing, hold on.
仮に久月総一郎がこの異常に気づいたらどうすると思う？解決しようとするかな？それともこのまま放っておこうとするかな？
It's hard to say if he would step in or not. I mean, because it just depends on, does he enjoy his current relationships? Does he enjoy his current life? That kind of is a big question. Because if he does, then I don't see him interfering. Right? I don't see him interfering. If he's enjoying his current life right now in this 4-day expanse or loop, I don't see why he would try to stop it. But if he just wants to get a move on, then he probably would have stepped in by now the second he figured out something.
なあ、本当の話、あんたらはどうなんだろう？
There's a fine day to brutalize Emiya Shiro. I'll be back by dinner time! For an instant, the air is completely frozen. I could have died 4 times within 3 seconds. Castor, restraining the magical energy that could kill me with just a glance.
解決するわ。
Yeah. He would. I can see why you would say that. If it's something that's disrupting his life, then he would go to stop it, yeah.
総一郎の善悪は坊やとは違うけど、あの人は自分が間違っていると感じたことは正す人だから。
Yeah. Like, despite that he really tried to kill his student, or 2 of his students, he still, like, isn't completely bad. Like, he's not a complete bad person. Just a bit, well, extremely misguided is all. But he can't change that. And it has a shadow of sadness in it. What's this?
あんたのマスターは俺に似てるんだな。
Of course there's sadness in the answer, because I know exactly why. And you all know as why as well, Chad. We all know why it's got sadness in that. Because we probably agree with what Castor's saying in that regard. Don't want it to end. I said to myself in reverence, as I let out the melancholy that had built up in my chest.
違うわね。あなたが総一郎に似ているの。
Of course. No one can. Suichiro can't be like anyone. Everyone is like Suichiro. Of course. My apologies. Her reply echoes with pride. Of course it does.
ああ、じゃあこの辺で。
Yeah.
つまんない話をして悪かった。あんたは思う存分ここで我関せずを貫いてくれ。
Mm-hmm.
言われなくてもそのつもり。
You got it.
けど、そうね。一人で頑張っているあなたに敬意を表して、すべてが終わる時が来たら、見送りぐらいはしてあげるわ。
Well, that's nice. Thank you. I'm dumbfounded. Words leave me speechless.
何ですかその言葉。私の言っていることがわからない？私は最後の時になったら。
わかってる。手伝ってやるって言ったんだよな。
You'll help out. I got it. Jeez.
お世辞抜きで頼りにするよ。
Oh, we will definitely be relying on you, Caster, because you are really vital to this whole thing. I can tell. I can
あんたた
tell.
ちに手伝ってもらえるのは、もしかしたら一番の励みになるかもしれない。
Honestly, yeah. Leave Caster's garden. Fix her robe and cease me off. What an unpleasant subject. She was in such a good mood. There was just one moment where she looked like her past ominous self.
本当の話、あんたらはどうなんだろ
Excuse me? The boy who said that is already leaving. The witch conceals her body with a black robe and, when disappearing, stands completely still. Someone who is like someone. Someone who is alike to someone. I see. You masters like me. Present that is like reality. Illusion that resembles reality. And it's wrong. It is you who are like my master. Disjointed thoughts swirl together and dissolve. A muddy mess. Scenes of the present world that have already become the memory of another. Memories for when she still lived as a human, and a bad dream she had just seen a little earlier. Like the cauldron where the old sheep was boiled. The dead and living are mingled together.
本当の話ですって。
The witch bites her lip ominously. Perhaps the evening shower. Thunder can be heard in the distance. Sound of rain hitting the trees evoke a vision of the scene where they first met. As she gives into frustration, only one thing comes to her mind. That day. Dried up palms of the man that grasped the hand of the foolish woman who had never been chosen by anyone. Rain. Rain is falling. Looks down briefly. To see that the hand is covered in blood. Straining her ears, she could hear ragged breathing. Body frozen like ice, her head frighteningly blank. Rain? Rain. It's rain. Body threatening to vanish, her reason threatening to collapse. The sky she looks up at is high. She calls for help and receives none. Her fainting body grows ever colder. Oh, but tonight is different. Magical energy is running out. There are a few spells at her disposal, and none to secure a vanishing life with. No, to begin with. That's the night when the cold rain fell was warmer and filled with light. Its death was nearly instant. This is the story of one man. It begins about 25 years back. Story of a lethal weapon that was tempered for nearly as long as he lived. Wait a minute. Wait. Kusuke backstory? Wait a minute. Are we getting Kusuke backstory? Some actual mountain assassination lore. Lore on those goddamn bastards up in the mountains. Hold on. He did not know what that group was right until the very end. In the middle of secluded mountains, amidst this community that gathered and lived together like mountain aesthetics, he came into existence. What? He just came into existence? Also, chat, give me a second. I'm switching chairs because now it's starting to get really annoying. Give me a second. Burp. This is over to sit back down in. Oh god. The back is so far straight. Can't lean as much. This is weird. I'll get used to it though. I should be able to get used to it. It's probably better actually. It's probably better actually. Now I think about it. Sit more and more straight. Notice lets me focus more on what I'm reading instead of realizing that my chair is sinking. And I'm going down, 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 stopping, going up again, going down, down, down. Yeah. Fucking annoying. But there we go. So now, it's time to immerse ourselves. Because this is lore I've been wanting since fucking Mihoyo. I've been wanting this lore since... I don't even know. Since like the start of the year, maybe? When I read Mihoyo? Something like that. I've been wanting this for so long. Not parents or siblings. How's that? It was the creature. No. Not parents or siblings. He was born as a child with no connections whatsoever. Might be more accurate to call it an emergence rather than a birth. I'm guessing kidnapping. To put it simply, the way to explain it, I'm guessing it's just kidnapping. They're just kidnapping children and then raising them in the mountains for a specific purpose. We grew up in the midst of that gathering. Fortunately, he was pure, even though that wasn't much of a place for living. Even though that probably wasn't how people lived. He who knew not of the outside world accepted that gathering. 20 years since then, he did not leave this allotted 10 square meters of forest. He continued to temper the one technique he was bestowed with. Around the age of 10, he was told that the community was a factory. A place where the necessities of daily life are mass-produced through the work of many. Since he had no experience in creating things, he didn't have to wonder which side he was on. He had no objection to the fact that he was a daily necessity. Instead, you could probably say he was relieved. It would have been strange otherwise. All day long, he single-mindedly repeated the same steps. No need for variety. Just perfect this one action, said the... I don't know. It's the same as being a tool. I'm guessing, is that meant to be a word? Is that meant to be a specific word? I feel like it is. I think it's meant to be a specific word. Consented to the fact that they were tools being used by total strangers, and further polished their function. Never mind, it's nothing. Okay, well, alright, it's nothing. I thought it was one thing, turns out it wasn't. To put it another way, I was unable to come to terms with grief-stricken. They were able to keep up with their daily work. Disappeared even for the memories of the tools. It was shortly after that when he guessed his own function. Extra knowledge was driven into them for when the time came. The necessities though they may be, they had to become pseudo-humans to manifest their function. The knowledge necessary to function as a human. When considered an excess, it was rare for them to be used without that knowledge. Though it would seem the blank, or against including extra functions, it was something unavoidable. To him and to the blank, there was no doubt an agonizing decision. Knowledge that he hadn't been taught until then. Things that are common knowledge for a human. Things that would make him inconsistent if learned. It was only dead weight to slow him down. However, thanks to that knowledge, he learned the name of his function. Murderer. Be detected by no one. Kill the victim before they are even aware of it. That was the function expected of him. I wonder. Like, I don't know how the time frames line up because I don't know how old Kusuke actually is in total. and the years and all that. I mean, the game takes place in what, 2004, and 20 years ago this happened. Or he left this place 20 years ago, or something like that. Was it something like that? I'm not sure. What I'm just wondering is there a chance that Sojiro and Soichiro were training in the same group? Like in some form or fashion, is there a chance that they were in the same group? Or is the age range like messed up here? Because I don't know. Maybe. Because like when does Mihoyo take place again? Like 1970s or something? Yeah, like, obviously same organization, but I was thinking like same location. That was what I was thinking. But probably not though. Because Mihoyo was like 1970s. And if this was 20 years ago, and then we go back another 10. No, I don't. Yeah, it's not possible at all. If Soichiro is as old as this is kind of hinting at being, I don't. Yeah, they couldn't have been. They weren't around the same time at all then. It's weird thinking that at this point in time, Sojiro is older than Kusaki. That's really funny, right? I think he should be at least, because that's really funny. I wouldn't think he would be, but I feel like he might. Hold up. Hold up, chat. Hang on. I only say semi because the names and philosophies behind organization from the brief is for showing Mihoyo lines up with what Kusuke went through. Yeah, because they say like Gramps says Soldier's name is like. Yeah, because he did not know what the fuck was going on at all in real life. He had no idea what the fuck was going on. But Gramps said something like, your name means like one or something. Like your name is one of many. I forgot exactly what Gramps said. I don't think I screenshotted that, because I screenshot a lot of things when we read Mihoyo, but I don't think I got that. I want to double check now, because now we're in this section, so now my mind is wandering. Now I'm thinking. Now I'm like thinking about what happened. What, did I not get anything Gramps said? I didn't save a single fragment of Gramps' conversation. I'm a fucking failure. God damn it. Sasugagami. Yeah, I'm a fucking failure. God damn. It's like one of the most interesting things that happens in Mihoyo, and my ass didn't save a fucking second of it. God damn it. Fuck. Alright, whatever. Whatever. I have to look it up then, basically. Being a fast learner, he left his 10 square meters of forest. He came to serve more frequently at the... I'm gonna call him Master. Master's Courts. We'll call him Master. You gotta give this guy some name, so... a designation. But even that happened only once a month or so. There he learned of the cost of perfection, and the appearance of the masters who were using him, clearly. The core was an immaculately clean place, a building where demons were said to live. The place rumored to be a hellish pandemonium was in fact a spotless white world. So do not live in tents and shit. This is clearly some sort of facility. Extremely well hidden, secluded facility. But like, it's definitely like funded. Like there's money put into this, obviously. But I don't understand why. I don't get why. I mean, it goes to be underground, but still, like, I don't get why. They just, like, they have these... They cultivate these people in the middle of fucking nowhere in some forest. And then just send them into the world to just kill people. What? I don't remember what he said either. The thing that's going over my head was, how would alcohol want to mix? Yeah, that's fair. Scraps of tools that didn't listen to the masters and were disassembled while alive. In remembrance of those who brought shame to... Well, master doesn't work here, clearly. For the group. And had their brains transplanted to animals as punishment. What? So I see her parents, and I was like, damn, did your parents bless them for marriage? I don't know. Transplant into animals. The fish tanks packed with flesh of the children who were gathered for the comfort of. So I thought, which is fair. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. I was just thinking more about what, you know, the shit that he said to Sojo. So that's what I was thinking of. And just curious about Sojo's past. Nothing. None of it was there. Those were all things that certainly happened, but they had nothing to do with this place. In this pure space, blank, having known not one speck of guilt. It's an ineffective form of staving off boredom, aiming for nothing but the expansion of tonight's menu by a mouthful. She's completely unrelated human lives for money. Please save me. I want to die. Please let me go. Those pleas were to be all laughed off as filthy and silenced. And so, without the blank even noticing, the ones exploited realized something in their final moments. These humans, speaking a different language all along. They were both living beings, yet their hearts were created differently. Things like the voice of the dishes lined up along the dinner table did not exist to them. To the blank, voice of other humans would never in a lifetime reach them. It's not a matter of limited to just their court. Thus said the ones who oversaw him. Those are the privileged few who use us as tools. This world is governed by humans who are not humans. He was told his function was to kill just one person for them. Didn't think that was evil. Mentally, he was already perfect. His morality was bred for this convenience of the blank. To him, murder was not evil. If anything was evil, then it was actions that were not logical. Well, governed by something not human? Sure, while on. Fair route. Honestly, real. Oh wait, are you saying that was mentioned? Huh. Oh yeah. God, what is it that these people know? This group knows something, and I want to know what they know, because they know something, and it's pissing me off. They're not sharing what they know. Share with the class, man. Stop speaking in riddles. Share with the class. What do you know? Nasu, I swear to God. What do they know? What is their purpose? What is their why do they exist? I crave information on this fucking assassin group so badly. There's a pecking order to what I want to like have info on. It's Red Garden, and then there's this. Like, goddamn, I want to know more about this group so badly. This is not helping. This is just not helping, like, at all. Also, who is he meant to kill? One person? Who is this one person? It wasn't Saber, obviously. It wasn't Tosaga or Shiro, obviously. This group with a One Piece? That's fair. I'm not a big One Piece fan, so I wouldn't say that. But I do understand, like, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking lie, I am curious too. You know what? I can't lie. Curiosity is a bitch. I do want to know what the One Piece is. I do want to know. I am curious just as anyone else would be. But I do know I want to know more about this than that. Logic of a tool. Logic of existence. Simply put, if an ink brush loses its use, then that is evil. If something made for killing people overlooks its target, that is injustice. But why did you let Sojiro go? And just send him on his way and told him to just live your life, buddy. Pat on the back, good job, go live. That's what I'm not understanding. Because here they mention that if anyone's unsubordinate, if anyone doesn't follow what they're doing, they kill you. They cut you into pieces and stuff your brain into animals, like you're dead. But they let Sojiro go. I mean, it's not he was gonna fucking tell anyone about this place, because he didn't even know either. Well, he knew, but it's like he barely understood what he was doing. Maybe? But they all seem like just mindless tools, so it's hard to say. The samurai that kid used in Heaven's Field recognizes over its nature it is evil. If he realizes it, it's good. Everyone wished it for him to be that way. Replace Anga with tool. The logic of Anga Manu. The logic of Anga Manu. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is just Anga Manu, yeah. So he is a lot like, well, these people. Put it this way, Lank, we're not doing anything wrong. They were creatures that had been given such preferences and privileges to begin with. They cared about their slaves, and the reasoning by which the world was managed would not stand. That's how he was taught. When he witnessed the Blank's cruelty, he did not detest them. There was something evil, it was just one thing. Do not doubt one's own function. It should have been what was correct for him. Yet for some reason he still thought about it. I mean, clearly Sojiro did too. He clearly questions his own function. If that is what set him on a path to get out of there or not, I don't know. What if he were to be given a function altogether different from this one? He thought of things that could be nothing but evil. Now what kind of tool he would then have become. I'm burping a lot, I'm sorry. Towards his function, his daily routine continued. The art bestowed upon him was a fighting style called Snake, but he perfected it many years ago. What's Sojiro's then? I mean, he just said he wrestled bears a lot. So is his fighting style just bear? Or I just had to give it a name. Is his just bear? Doesn't that make sense? Because he did say he did, fight a lot of bears. Nevertheless, his daily routine did not change. No new techniques would be given to him. So he hits him with the 1-2. You're fucking right. It was simply created as a snake tool. However much capacity he had, there would be no meaning in adding other functions. And like that, another 10 years passed, and he reached the 20th. Finally, nearing his expiration day as a tool, he was given a chance to exert his potential. First time hearing this voice, no idea who this voice actor is. It low-key sounded like Jotaro from Persona 3, from JoJo Part 3. Low-key, but that's not the same tone. It almost sounded like him. Her perfection cost 20 million in time and money. Yeah, so it's like heavily funded. But by who? By who? Who's funding this shit? The government? I mean, the world is governed by something not human, so you're saying the world is funding this and they don't know? Total cooperation? Fucking knew it. Fucking knew it. I'll give us up to something. Is anything different than were from other organizations, that would be it. No matter what type of tool they were, no matter what kind of function they had, a one man, one kill rule was strictly observed. Yeah, one man kills one person. You don't kill anyone else. Your function is to kill this individual and no one else. Do that, break that, and you're done. The exact same end awaited both outstanding talent and average junk.
2000万かけて育てた道具は2000万の仕事をすればよい。
Okay. Profits will be taken. Will not be used twice. Kill yourself after fulfilling your duty. Well, Soichiro clearly never killed his target. Either he never found him, couldn't kill him, or I don't know. Same with Sojiro. He clearly never found his target either. Those were their absolute rules, and both of them somehow broke out. In order to kill this person, he underwent training beyond human comprehension. And then, having finally perfected the technique after tens of years of practice, he will display it only once before putting an end to everything. That feels like such a waste. That's such a waste. All this perfectionism just to get rid of everything. So weird. He obeyed in silence. Said the target laid out layer upon layer of defenses. Dead men tell no tales. You're fucking right. Dead men tell no tales. The societal position necessary for smoothly making contact be provided by the blank. After that, he just had to proceed with his body alone. Proceeding empty-handed was done so to make it easy to make contact with the key individual. When they leave the forest, they are promised death. A journey to die, regardless of their success or failure. What if Sojiro wasn't sent away because he was a failure or did something bad, was helped escape? What if he was sent on his mission? Just earlier than usual. What if he was just sent on his mission? And he just hasn't gotten there yet? And he simply... I could say he simply just been distracted. Going by what they're saying here. Like, you will die regardless. Doesn't matter if you succeed, it doesn't matter if you succeed and then kill yourself, or you just fail and die. You're not their problem anymore, now that you're out into the world. No, it's... I forget, it is so... Yeah, he definitely sucks at it. He's definitely, like... It's as I said, like, it's the same for, like... It's as I said, it doesn't matter if, like, you're an absolute god or just your average Joe. Yeah, the end, same end, even if you're average junk or outstanding talented. Like, it doesn't matter what you were, you had your function, you were gonna go do it. And... What if Soldier just hasn't done his function yet, you know? You know, that makes me think about the scene after he brings down Bayo. He keeps looking immensely, like... I mean, I know he says why he does it, but he does it because you hurt Aoko and Alice, so he's gonna hurt you. But at the same time, what if that's him thinking as well, like... Well, shit, I wasted it. I wasted my, you know... his thing, his technique, what he's been training for. There it is, gone, wasted. It didn't even kill his target. might find that if your fear is correct, the whole mess with the girls is one massive B plot in the movie. Fucking right. But I don't know, that's what this got me thinking now. Like, what? Like, that's honestly not my theory with Soldier. What if he is on his mission? He's just now distracted by Alco and Alice, and they just don't know any better. And it's the fact as well, when he gets spoilers from Ohio, when Sojiro dies after striking down Bayo and Sojiro gets killed by Toko, when he's brought back, he seems not really fucking bothered by it. He does not seem to be bothered in the slightest the fact that, oh, well, I guess I died. Like, because he was expecting it? Because he was told, go on your journey, you are dead regardless. It doesn't matter what you do, you will die. The boy's like, oh, I died. Well, I mean, I failed, so whatever. Like, that I did my thing. I wasted my talent. I'm dead. Whatever. It happened. It happened now. I was told this. I will die. Here it is. And so he died clearly with no regrets, right? Like, died with no regrets. He got brought back. Yeah, he was dead man standing. Like, he was done. And he clearly just didn't care. I think from what at least when it looked like to me, the last moment he cared about his being in any sort of form, I mean, he clearly didn't care about his well-being, is from striking down Bayo because he wasted his function. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Now that I have more info on this whole assassination group thing, I see Sojiro very differently. Not as in a bad way or anything. I just see some of his final chapter actions very differently and how he's acting. But again, I don't remember some of the things he said early on about, you know, when he left and all that. Because he just talked about, like, him leaving and all that. And I don't remember the specific words used. Because there was something about him being sent away. And that could mean many things, obviously. It could mean that he was sent on this mission. It could mean he was someone helped him escape. Or whatnot. It's definitely a bit of a clumsy one. He definitely sucks at the whole one-man, one-kill thing, though. Yeah, he definitely sucks at it. I say that, but even Bayo believed he could kill him. If he had killed one of the, you know, Alco Alice, Bayo did believe Sojiro could kill him. Which shows how different he is from Kusuke, because that means he held back. Yeah, that means he purposely held back then. I'm getting caught up in my own mind about this whole thing. God, Sojiro, you are just... God, Sojiro on the brain when this shit is on screen. I'm getting caught up in things that are not relevant to our current plot. I need to continue. Man. Mahoyo gets new contextualization now that I'm reading this. Mahoyo's definitely getting new context to itself. Feelings of happiness, frankly, ever likely there, however faint. Soldier seemed pretty happy to me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He was pretty happy sometimes, wasn't he? Despite it all? Sending a balance of 20 years. Finally the extent of his function. If the outcome was death, there was still plenty to look forward to. Wait a minute. I know he went to school, but... Because I'm not wondering how old Sojiro is. I don't know if you ever know how old he is. Oh. So Kusuke did succeed. So now my question is, why is he still alive? Work ended all too quickly. None of the expected guards or barriers. When he visited the building to do primarily the inspections for the real thing, he ended up finishing his job. The emotions of that moment were not easy to put into words. What came flying into his chest was nothing. Neither joy nor sadness, neither disgust nor happiness. Shouldn't there be something? He thought his function would be accompanied by some emotion. Not a single ripple disturbed his mind. If only. Suppose something did move within him at that moment. Wouldn't that make him a different being altogether? If it was happiness, then on to the suicide. If there was sadness, then on to being a natural-born killer. But there had been nothing. Feelings and so forth. There were none whatsoever in the fruits of the technique he spent 20 years tempering. Which is much like Sojiro's gaze. Is a very just like... His eyes were kind of like half closed, like somber, like kind of like somber looking, but didn't look there was any feeling behind any of it. I might be forcing the interpretation a little bit, but you know. There was neither pleasure nor discomfort when he killed. Only the feeling of the puppet-like target's neck breaking was left in the palm of his hand. There was no reward. What was the compensation? The shock of taking a person's life was nowhere to be found. Even his function itself seemed strange. Didn't need it. Completely unnecessary. The murder of this target required no technique whatsoever. It's more like an accident. A lot of difficulty that needed no training. An assassination that kids in the neighborhood could have performed. Yeah, that's another thing. They're training up these hyper-insane assassins for like one singular kill. But the people they're, at least in this situation, the person he's been targeted is someone that like anyone could fucking kill at any point. And he's supposed to kill himself? For basically wasting 20 years? I really don't understand. It was all excessive. On Earth could something like 20 years of training have been needed? His function that was left with nothing. A pilgrimage that was of no meaning to begin with. Not that doubts had surfaced. There was probably no reason. There was no reason in anything. For the corpse that he only knew the name of, he became aware of his usual but apathetic self. A young Kusugi, huh? 20 years. Drawing that conclusion himself, looks dead inside. Honestly, it's the same look Sojiro had for Bayo. Like a little bit. I know I keep drawing this comparison, but like, I can't help it. I really fucking can't help it. He decided to liquidate the person he was up until then. Liquidate? He did not commit suicide. Instead withdrew from the gathering and became independent. Yeah, so you can't just leave. And you're not gonna give a shit, like, at all. I mean, he completed his mission, so they don't care, obviously. He did his job, that's it. No, nobody knows where he came from anyway. Alright, second theory. This makes no sense. What if... what if Sojiro's already killed this person? What if he's already killed this target? If there's easy to kill as... If a kindergartner could kill the person they're meant to kill. What if Sojiro's already done it? and he just left. Like he said, he just left. Teacher of school? Yes! Yeah, what if, that's my second theory now. What if Sojo has already done his job, and Dada just chose to leave instead? That's one of two possibilities. Either he's not done it yet, or he's done it. That makes no... I know, right? It makes no fucking sense. But... I don't know. I don't know. Mahoyo needs to give me more fucking information. I need more info. I need Mahoyo 2 so bad. Because I feel like they're gonna touch upon this if they do make a fucking second one. That's so weird. They say, like, they tell you how useless you are after your function's done. Like, you're a waste of 20 million in time and money and like all this like negative feedback, but you can just walk away. You're allowed to just say, I'm leaving, and just walk away. Now think about the option of going underground and hiding himself. He quite naturally moved to a faraway town and used the social position that was given to him for fulfilling his function. He was rewarded for it. Quotations. He was given a standing of some sort for doing his function. So my question is, who recommended Sojo his school? Huh? Do we know who did that? I don't think we do. Haven't I've not ran the whole name too long? Yeah. Privacy East is already flown to think about fairly Alex-centric. True. That is also true. Like, that adds to like the fact he's already done it. That adds again to the fact that he's already done his job and he tried to kill himself. But who is that? Do we know who that is? I don't think they ever stated who it is. It's just some guy, right? As far as Sojo has conveyed it, it's just some guy who gave him an apartment. Yeah, it's some guy who just gave him the apartment to stay in and recommended him to a school. Who's not to say it wasn't his reward for getting the job done? Who's to say that's not what that was? Because he was a bit younger, right? Because he was a bit younger than, like, Kusuke here. He was a bit younger, so it's like, okay. You did it. You tried to kill yourself, you clearly couldn't. Here's an apartment. School recommendation. Get the fuck out of here. Like... Dude. God damn, man. I need more info! I need more! God damn... I crave more fucking information about Sojo and this group and all that. God damn. Because my mind is just racing now. Before FR came out, so sounds about right. Is it before anything like came out that has information in it? Fucking hell. But yeah, honestly, yeah, I do agree with you, and I want Mahoyo 2 to be like, not centered on just this, but like, bring some of that along, because you can't just mention the first game and then not, follow up on it, like, come on. But it's probably gonna be Alice-centric, though, you're right, because FGO told us there's something Alice hasn't been fucking telling us. Well, not so much that, but like, something she's been hiding. But what the fuck it is? Wandersnatch? God, FGO pisses me off. Why would they... This shit pisses me off so much, man. How are you gonna give us such a tease and then be like, Mahoyo 2's, I don't know, it's happening at some point. Like, huh? You cannot just give us this delicious Wandersnatch cake with this big Eldritch Horror Alice thing and then be like, alright, anyway, next event coming up. Like, huh? the possible theory that Wonder Snatch is I forgot what the theory was with Wonder Snatch. I think it's like her mother. It was something like that. I remember reading that somewhere. I forget though. Because I know it sounds weird, because during Alice's Noble Phantasm, when she's using the Wonder Snatch NP, there are two voices. There's a chance of a different voice coming out of Alice, and it's not her own. And again, I forget what the voice lines are, but it's things that Alice wouldn't say. And I guess it's possible that it could be her mom. But I don't know why or how. But I don't know, I don't know. I don't have enough info on Wonder Snatch. Why it's not so cooking? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, if you guys want at some point, chat, because I have the entire thing translated and saved, we can read through it if you want one day. We could do that after this, actually. If you guys want. It won't take too long. It might be a stream or two, or just one stream even. We could do that. Because I have the entire event, like, saved on YouTube. Fully translated. Because I definitely do want to be able to read it. At some point. But yeah, man, adding that shit into FGO really fucking pisses me off. Because they didn't just make me want to see what the hell Mihoyo is gonna start cooking. Though I say that, I mean, they probably won't go into any of that stuff because Mihoyo 2 is before the Laugh and You Die thing. Which means I don't see it covering any of what FGO's been going through. Someone gets spoiled from Mihoyo 2 and 3. I mean, if Mihoyo 2 is like in that gap between Mihoyo 1 and Laugh and Die, I don't see that event spoiling anything Mihoyo 2 related. I think Mihoyo 3, I couldn't tell. I don't know. I have no idea. I wouldn't know. Wait, what? The personality prepared for him was one of a teacher. He was able to master the basic knowledge and skills somehow. The personality prepared for him. What, prepared? As in, they told him to act like a teacher? So trying to fit into to Sojiro, what, did they prepare a personality of him being a dumbass school kid? Is that Sojiro's preparation? Be a dumbass school kid? Hey master, the shadow going to say that we send 5 yen to his as a murderer. What do we do? Have him teach ethics, I don't know. Person's personality? Maybe. I mean, I don't know, it seems like, I mean, from what Kusuke said in UBW, it's clear his thinking never changed. Like, his personality doesn't seem too different from what we saw in this brief flash. His personality does not seem that different. So, I don't know. This one's a bit weird to think about. He had no difficulty adjusting to his new role, his completely different life. But there was just one trivial matter bothering him. A small thorn stuck in the recess of his mind. And I realized what that strange feeling was until the very end. I mean, Sojiro adjusted pretty quickly. No, Sojiro was pretty scared of the big city. He took some time. He was still adjusting most of the game to his new life. Life that he did not assume would continue for more than half a year. In fact, has continued for 5 years. Wait, what do you mean? Life that he did not assume would continue for more than half a year. He expected to be a teacher for 6 months, but that turned to 5 years. There was none that searched for him. He himself decided he would live without regard for his pursuers. Yes, so they don't come after you. There is a non-zero chance Soldier has killed a man. Because why would they come after him? So him escaping, I don't think that's the case anymore. I'm starting to think there's no such thing as him escaping from this group. Because clearly they don't give a shit about going after you. They assumed he would just die. Either that, I mean, they gave him his job, obviously, and all that, and thought he would eventually just, vanish. Is it like, right? Obviously, I'm not against the idea of someone helping him escape. I'm not against that, obviously, because as someone at some point will prop up and think, wait, this is kind of fucked up. We shouldn't be here. I'm gonna help this guy. I'm gonna help this kid escape because they're a bit young. They're a bit younger than me. I'll help them escape. I think that is a likely scenario. That someone helped them escape, and that's what we are. But at the same time, with the context now been given of them sending you out, giving you a reward, in quotations, if you do your kill successfully, but you don't die, and it's just giving you a new life, I don't see why it could be the case that Soldier either has now done his mission and is not living out his life, or he has failed his mission, or has just not completed it yet. Not that he yearned for a normal life. 20 years he lived, he only polished his technique for killing. Results were something like that, then all that remained was to disappear without accomplishing anything more, he concluded. When I ran from Soldier's monologue, he was let go from his POV because he was utterly clueless about literally everything going on. Right, there's that too, he was clueless about, like, what they were doing. I mean, that works into the factor that, you know, he was made to kill people. Yeah. I mean, that goes into the fact of, like, they treat them the same no matter what. Like, perfect killers or, you know, disregardable junk. They treat you the same regardless. So, what he may see as him being let go... funny bear one shot. So what he may see as being let go, it's him being set on his mission. Because of how clueless he is, he could just see it as, like, as you say, like, he saw it as being let go. Because he was clueless. But maybe because he was clueless, he assumed he was let go, but in reality, he was sent on his mission. In short, he lost the opportunity to find joy in life. But Soldier didn't. Soldier didn't lose his opportunity. I think unlike Kuzuki, Soldier has found his joy in life. And that is at the Kawanji estate. That's what I think. And the, I forget the name of the school they're attending. But at that school too, like Kawanji estate and the school, his part-time jobs, and the people he meets. New and old, like the friends he makes along the way. If he's not done his mission, I can honestly see a conclusion where, say in MiHoYo 3, where Soldier's story will conclude with him abandoning his mission. If it is the case that he is sent out, and he's not done his part yet, I can see his story concluding with, like, no. Like, he sees the target and his mind flashes with, like, back to the whole organization, like, oh, that's the guy, I have to kill him. But, you know, he doesn't. Because of what he's built up with his friends in... Mizaki, that's what it's called, right, the town. I could see that being an ending for him. I mean, it's either that or Soldier gets a really fucking sad ending. Either one. He kills his target, as and Al could find out, and they just, like, get confused and I don't know, think of something depressing. Humans spend the rest of their lives fulfilling hopes they've accumulated up until adulthood. Whether or not they are fulfilled is not the issue. They are, in fact, Anastasia that can expend time originally filled with nothing but agony. You and none of this could only continue on meaninglessly. We're not going to talk about his noble phantasm. We're not talking about his NP. I find it weird because one thing that's not up is his killing people is bad. It's an interesting moral soldier that also had if you ever repeat deliver several times to get the right delivery. That's also true. That's where the whole failing in this mission come from, right? Because he couldn't do it. He's soon being let go. Because of how clueless he is, he assumed he was let go, but he was sent on his job. He tried to do it, realized what he was doing, stopped himself, probably tried to hang himself or something, failed that, and then I don't know. True, just doesn't kill dozens of people. True. It's my theories. Are my theories falling a little bit apart the more I'm remembering it from Sojo and his character? Maybe. But I still think like there's something in there that I'm not entirely off basis with, I feel like there's something in there that I'm not entirely off basis with. With what HA is now telling me about this whole group. Whether or not he has failed in this mission, so fears so fun, right? I never usually do theorize a lot, but now I'm having a fucking blast because I have pieces I can build and match however I fucking want, and potentially I could be right. I could be right. I don't know. But I definitely it's hard to say, but I feel really strongly about the fact that given since you're right about the whole killing is bad, he doesn't want to. Maybe that is what it is. Maybe he has been set on this mission, but he failed. Because success or failure didn't matter. That's just what the plot of Mario 2. Might be a floor thing like situation. Maybe. I don't know. I only know as much as I'm spewing out of my mouth currently. I mean, that is also the case. What if he did, again, that could, actually, yes, you're absolutely right. That could actually work. What if he did kill his target? After doing it, he felt horrible. What if he felt so violently horrible about the 17 years he has put into his work as a tool in that mountain and realized what a horrible thing he had to do? And then concludes down to killing people is bad. Murder is bad. The attempted suicide can be in there somewhere, obviously. It fits in there it's obviously at any interval. But he clearly chose to do something different. Because I don't believe the whole some guy gave him an apartment and gave him a school to go to. I don't believe that shit for a second now with this. I don't believe it for a goddamn second. They gave him that. The organization gave him that shit. That's some guys to go because they gave him a life. But I do not believe it's just some random fucking stranger he met on the street and said, here's a key to an apartment and here's a school for you to go to. Go do that. I refuse to believe that. If killing is the reward, if killing lends you a reward to a chance to have a normal life, well, that's normal as you can fucking get after having murdered someone after 17 years of practice. Why can't the same be for Sojiro? That's what he got. And neither ideals nor illusions. decided he would fulfill the duty of living until his own flesh would rot away, and the tool known as himself ceased to work. It would seem to make him a cold-hearted machine, but he was a human no different from those around him. It's just that his inspiration had died. Sojo's inspiration clearly hasn't died. It's still there, obviously, because he's just like, he's just the chores. He, his entire moral code of killing is bad. He knows how to make his own home-cooked meal, even. He's still very human in there, despite what he's been through. Exactly, that too. He supports the entire economy of Misaki. Like, he's so human. For what she's been through for, like, again, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 years. I'm assuming, like, 17, 18, because he's a second year. I'm assuming, like, 17 years. Despite 17 years of bullshit he has been through, he is amazingly human. And that's something I absolutely love about Sojiro. Of how human he is. What is dead does not revive. It's not that it's sleeping in the depths of his heart, or that it's regressed or anything. It just doesn't exist anymore. No matter how human-like a life he tries to live, he will never in this life feel inspiration. Never thought for it to be painful. Thought it to be painful. The people around him assumed he was strong, too. There's nothing wrong with that assumption. But he did make an effort to rot away meaninglessly like this. His dead heart walked the path of hell and endeavored to live among humans. So, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Now we got some years here. We got 20 years. We got 5 years. Is Kusuke only 25 years old? Oh, how long was it until this grill war started? Did it start? Do we know for sure this grill war started in 2004? Or was there a year waiting? Because that was how... Because there was, I forget, was it Fate Zero where there was a year gap between summons and the war starting? Because that's the part why it's hard to say, like, when the war started and when it, characters were summoned and when the war started. It doesn't start right away, obviously. It starts when a character's been summoned, which wasn't the case, obviously. So if we mingle him to be like 26 years old, yeah, he wasn't born yet. He was not even born yet. He wasn't born when Sojiro was around, clearly then. So yeah, they couldn't have met. Never mind. But never mind what I said earlier then. Way earlier, me? You're fucking wrong. They would not have met at all. Because Kusuke wasn't even fucking born yet, clearly. By the time Sojiro was already out and about. This whole is like the 1970s. Or something. Or the 60s. They fucking said one of them. 70s or 60s. My mind does not remember such a fact. '80s. Excuse me. There we go. 1980s. Not applied. Not likes using plots or anything for a blonde woman. Traumatized rape victim. It's just former assassin meets magical woman who inspires him to love his life again. Yeah. And then met that pale woman. He was returning home after finishing the day's work. As he was heading towards the temple gates, he caught sounds coming from the forest. See what you're doing, mushroom, right? Having indebted to the temple, he took it as his obligation to see what was going on. He found a woman covered in blood. The woman wrapped in a black cloak was so weak that it seemed she would disappear at any moment. She seemed so frail that the word vanish, rather than die, would be more fitting to describe her appearance. Something it rhymes. God damn. that honestly, like with what I've been theorizing so far about Sojiro and how Kusuke has been, they're clearly polar opposites. They're clearly meant to be polar opposites with how they experience the world and life. From what the actions they have been taking up to this point. Again, that too, I could be completely fucking wrong. But that is so far how I'm seeing it for myself, that they are meant to be polar opposites. Later on, Witch would think this meeting was a miracle. The fault was not hers alone. If it were an illusion, the impossible happened. Oh, that's really fucking cute. Wait. You can't do that. Wait, you can't. I already like Kusuke a lot already, dude. No, wait, hold on. That's not fair. I already love Kusuke already. Dude, that's not. Come on. The heart that beat the same rhythm for tens of years had stopped for just an instant. Interruption had but a minor effect. They did change the beat. Someone that should have been dead trembled as if to stir. Just so that he found inspiration again. If only a fragment. Inspiration came back, right? I'm assuming, right? Something like that. Just a little bit. The woman collapsed without responding to his call. Forest in the night. Rain. A weakened body. Clearly not a decent person. Trivial matters. In a cloak covered in blood. This woman is dangerous. If he tried to distance himself from it, he was out of place as well. There's no way he couldn't pick up the scent of one who was the same as him. So he looked after the woman. It was not out of sympathy for someone similar. A fellow murderer that he saved. He yelled because a person had collapsed before him. The reason why he saved her was simply that. The woman awoke in about an hour. Chat, remind me real quick. Did this happen in UBW? Did we get this scene in UBW? But like from Media's perspective or something. Did we get this? Because I can't remember if we got this. Is expanding on that? Because I was going to say, that means that Ufotable adapted somehow Ataraxia content. Because they did do this scene. But then I realized, no wait, they only did this stuff in the rain. They didn't actually do anything past that, so never mind. I thought for a second Ufotable did something goated, but never mind. I got ahead of myself. Let me calm down. The woman stared at him, dazed. There was neither bewilderment nor delight. It was as if her despair of being alive had turned to tears and were about to spill forth. How did the woman take his words? Did you think she could use him? She let her guard down in his kindness. The woman divulged her background, and he all too quickly accepted her rather peculiar identity. He embraced the woman, also acknowledged participation in the killings known as the Holy Grail War. Damn, he hugged her? Damn. Shit. Of course, the witch was probably surprised too. The woman's condition was, although slightly, improving. Because while she gloated that she could have, the moment she were rejected, used magic to control his heart, her vile schemes were undone with just a single statement. Not that he consented to her out of fear, but he was interested in the Holy Grail. He cooperated with the woman because she had asked for his help. He was a man who saw no evil in murder to begin with, and no reluctance to becoming a master. However, the truth is that he cooperated to distance himself from the past. If you assumed there was a moment of disconnection, then this would be it. He did not realize why he had abandoned the life he had worked for until now, and taken up the woman's cause.
極力今の生活を乱さないようにしろ。手が欲しいときは言え。
This was his policy. He has no desires. It was just that the woman he saved wants something called the Holy Grail. If he fights, it is not for the Holy Grail, for the woman. Since he promised to aid and cooperate, lending his strength to the woman is a natural obligation. To him, the Holy Grail War was an abnormality, but it was not a wrongdoing. Because to him, evil is defined as something that negates his established function. And well, a Grail War, meaning you can kill as you please, does not negate his function of being a person who kills. So, that makes sense. So he became the Master of Caster. He was a master without command spells, but he obeyed his words. Oh yeah, wait, did they not make a contract? I assume they did, but I guess he just didn't get any command spells for it, which is odd. Nothing like magic to begin with. She only used him to stay in this world, planned to treat him as a puppet. Oh, okay, there you go. And he himself did not participate in the Holy Grail War. Rather, he left the fighting to the woman. If there was ever a chance that he would reject her, it only happened if she denied the Holy Grail War to begin with. As a user and the used, their relationship was perfect. I want to go back. Yet for some reason, they did not mesh together as human beings. When the woman began to change her mind, more of a reason he had to abandon being a master. The more he experienced her character, the more he broke down as a tool. To return to my country before I die. That sense of nostalgia. He, who had no place to return to begin with, cannot possibly understand it. No, it was an emotion he should not have understood. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? The battle ended quickly. Oh, fate. Oh. Oh, we're back in Fate route? Wait a minute. Gatekeeper Assassin was defeated by the enemy's servant. The master who went out to face him, too, was defeated by the Rain of Swords. Sadman was cruelly torn apart. Arms he spent over 20 years tempering vanished below his shoulders.
Master! Master!
But this can't be Fate. Can it? Because she's here. She died at the Emiya household. Someone's voice echoed in the temple grounds. Emiya's servant seemed to have left, having finished with the servant and master of the temple gate. Or this could have happened. Actually, no, it still could be. Honestly, it still could be because it could happen before she showed up. And her showing up at the Emiya household was her last resort. Only the woman was left, clinging to the remains of her pallid contractor. Eyes that lost focus, only able to discern silhouettes. He looked at her. Seeing that crying face, he found himself lamenting over having done something inexcusable. It was not an illusion that his fading consciousness was showing him. His heart, that should not have existed, shed blood on the verge of death. The woman wished to return home. He have a place to return to did not exist for him. Repeated sense of nostalgia. A place he'd never seen nor heard of. Dream of a paradise that he did not even have an impression of to begin with. That, not know how to take in even in his last moments.
ここから離れろ、キャスター。お前の気配を察すれば、今のサーバントが戻ってくる。
He said indifferently. Condition of his body aside, it was a miracle that his spirit was still in good health. Perhaps it was a result of his long days of training. The moment his brain stopped working, his mind was clear. Against a normal human. If that shows anything, it shows that he could tell he was a threat.
何を言うのです。気を確かに必ず直します。あなたを死なせはしません、マスター。
The woman didn't leave. It's a bit illogical. Of course, losing a master to anchor to is a serious blow. Not to the extent that it would result in death. In fact, you already lost one before. Considering the possibility of being attacked by the same servant again, it would be best to leave as quickly as possible and search for another master.
見くびらないで。私は魔女です。死にかけの人間の一人や二人、簡単に作られる。
A miracle would not happen. Magical energy stockpile in Ryoda Temple had been destroyed by the enemy's servants. The injuries were inflicted with a mortality curse by the noble phantasm.
簡単。こんなの何度だってやってきたことなんだから。失敗なんてしない。失敗なんてしない。失敗なんてしない。こんな簡単な治療、手こずったことなんて一度もない。
What's crying, the woman recited magic as if apologizing. There was no use. Even the divine words she spoke had lost their usual power. One's face filled with more sadness with each passing moment.
やだ。助けて。誰かお願い。お願い。助けて。助けてよ。こんなの嘘よ。今まで失敗したことなんてただの一度もなかったのに。
Neither healing the wounds nor regenerating his body was fast enough. She could not save anything. Witch's role is only to cripple humans. If she could cure people and animate the dead, genuinely saving a person, it's simply not possible. Perhaps it was because she hadn't really tried to save anyone up until now. She had not known of that rule until this very moment. Magic did not work. She called for help, but no aid ever came. The sky she looked up at was high. She could not stop his falling body temperature.
死なないで。死なないで。死なないで。死なないで。宗一郎。
He hears wailing. Yet her crying face gives him a headache. He realizes that this is because of sadness, and finally accepted that he could not become a tool. He just thought to live normally. When he murdered a person and became free, he accordingly took up the view that the rest of his life could only be spent away. What a blatant lie. He dared not admit it. He actually regretted that. It was kept in his heart. Those meaningless 20 years. The person he'd killed whom he had only known by name. He always thought it was wrong to kill someone who he only knew the name of. That was not a killing born from his own motives. He was not an adult born from his own will. How should he have atoned for his mistake? It had been fun. He used to do nothing but hone one single technique. Forget about thinking and be a tool. Being preoccupied with that, he erased 2 lives without a single consideration. Is there any evil greater than this? Any of those who raised him were to shoulder part of his crime. Even if he didn't know a thing, what killed another person was, inevitably, his own hands. That's why he went on to live was because he didn't know how to atone. He's not practicing a technique that he could call his one and only purpose. So he buried it within his daily life. Wishing for nothing, gaining nothing. That was the best form of atonement he could conceive in his mind. Killing is bad. Murder is wrong, huh? Wishing for nothing. Gaining nothing is what Alka sees when she's using traumatic to bring Sojo. As it glimpses memories. That's fucking incredible, honestly. That way of life crumbled after meeting this woman. A pale-looking lady wandering about in the cold rain. She was simply beautiful. More beautiful than any woman he had seen before. That was the only reason. That beautiful creature reached out his hand. Looking back on it, throwing away all those days of atonement he had accumulated and lending her a hand was surely. Woman's voice had turned into a cry. What he thought was rain was something much warmer. The woman did not leave. Just as that night, arms covered in blood clung to his chest. It was truly sad. He could not see her face anymore, he thought.
そうか。ようやく気がついた。
Took too long. But still, there was some time. He had for a long time wanted to apologize to something. Things he had regretted. Something he had to beg for forgiveness. Since long ago. About which he had vaguely cared until now. He had wanted to live for someone's sake. That pure longing.
キャスター。
The woman would not leave. You know, the footsteps of death may have already gotten close. It pretty much is, yeah. I'm barely holding on. Frankly, I'm barely holding on here. It seems the apology was directed at himself. That is enough. could no longer apologize, but in exchange, the woman had done it for him. Only one concern remained. He had to release this beautiful bird back to where it came from.
キャスター
The woman would by no means leave him. When he could no longer see anything, in the interval when he would allow for everything.
いいかもう行きなさい 君はこんなところにいてはいけない
Feeling more peaceful than he ever had, told the woman who clung to his remains. The woman who was left took off to is already a distant story. She went to go fight Emiya, then Saber, and then was killed by Gil. It was not what he thought her to be. The conclusion was not one he had hoped for. The story of the fallen killer and the witch ends here. If there were any salvation, it was in a brief instant after they had met. Life that lasted less than a month was filled with many times more humanity and tranquility than what had existed up until then. There's a lot to unpack there. With Soichiro. There's a lot of things to unpack. Holy Jesus. And I'm not gonna lie, it really strengthens the theory that Sojiro did kill his target, like a lot. It strengthens it a lot, I feel. Because of the fact that he also regretted killing. I mean, again, it's only theory, so I could be wrong. But it definitely strengthens it a lot. Who's to say he didn't get that belief after he'd already done it? I will say, I don't know if I said it before, but my favorite master servant pairing, I don't know if I said it before, but you can probably guess who it is now. It's Caster and Kusuke. Bar none. I think that's my favorite, like, master servant pairing now. Like, unquestionably, it's probably my favorite one. And just those two in general, like, their characters are just so goddamn good. Dissonance overcame her, having seen a fragmented dream. Witch in a black cloak is liberated from the evening rain. She narrowed her eyes at the slight vertigo and looked up at the gloomy sky. It's not that It's a little gloomy.
できっこないことを言われて羽なんて初めからありはしなかった。
Also, I want to say also to her, I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. I want to find her name. Caster's VA. Tanaka Atsuko. Her performance in that scene in the rain, absolutely fucking amazing. Absolutely, like, insane. In a league of its own. And may she rest in peace, because goddamn, what a fucking performance. Her performance in this whole game and Stay Night has been absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And man, it's such a shame. It's such a shame. It is now about a year ago, a little over a year ago now, because it happened last year. But man, what a performer, what a VA. She, Seo, like, goddamn, incredible. Honestly, in a league of her own. Honestly, up there with like the greatest VAs of all times, like Matsuko Nozawa for Goku, right? Up there with, honestly, I put it up there with the greats, because goddamn, has her performance been absolutely amazing in both these games. And I think I've seen some other stuff too, I forget. But like, anything else he's voiced in as well, she's probably done a fantastic job. It really is a shame. And may she rest in peace. Surely, he saw her that way until the end. If she had fallen to the ground, her wings were light. Someday they would slow off the dirt and return to the skies.
ほんと気の回らない人。立ち寄った場所を気に入って空を忘れる渡り鳥だっているでしょう。そんな都合のいいことを思いもしなかったの。
She smiles ever so slightly at the monologue. Then drifting off to sleep, Which slowly closes her eyelids, as to burn herself in a short-lived dream. She held tightly onto this moment from which she would eventually awaken. This is yet another fragment. The fragment has already passed on, broken into pieces, and, after faltering for a brief moment within the heart of the bearer, ceases to resist and simply flows away. So with only the mind, she could not exist. With only the body, she could not leave footprints. At the very least, spring that did not come to be admired, unbeknownst to others at this paradise of a town. Paradise, huh? Dude, what? God damn. Chad, that's time. Perfect timing. It's because I was yapping a lot as well. I'm aware, and I'm sorry. But goddamn, there was a lot of things that was happening, and I started just thinking, theorizing everything about connecting Sojo to all this shit. But I think keeping this to its own is honestly not that bad. And I thank you for that. Thank you. I'm sure everyone, I hope everyone agrees with that. But I think keeping Media and Sojo and I'm stuck saying Sojo. Keeping the Media or Caster, excuse me, Caster and Kusuke stuff to its own little thing like this one stream for itself, so that this is all just Caster Kusuke stuff. I think that's probably the best way to have it. It makes it easy for me if I want to look back at something in the future as well. We have some wallpapers to look at. I really wonder what they look like. I hope they look... they're probably gonna look good. This Lord... Yeah! There was insane fucking lore drops. Like, I'm still processing half of it. It was so much and so fucking good. It was even half of what I expected to get as well, because I didn't know that HA was going to touch upon the assassin stuff. I didn't know when, because that is something I knew even reading Mihoyo. I think it might have been you, Minon. I'm not gonna obviously point fingers or anything, but it was someone in chat who told me that HA will cover more of this stuff. Because I think I was asking about like the assassin stuff, or like where Soldier came from. And I believe someone in chat told me that, hey, you told me like, oh, more of this is in HA. Like when you get to HA, there's more there. You'll get to it. And was it glazing HA? True, you have been, and fucking well, I could see. I understand why. I 100% understand why. Because goddamn, would I have done the same? But God, when did we finish Mihoyo? Let me see. Because that's when... Well, that's not when I experienced it. It would be the stream before the last one. Let me see. It was a year ago now? You're kidding me. That's not true. That's not true. April 2nd, 2024. I have been anticipating this insane lore drop for a year. Remember how it became? And I wish F then I expanded on X. HA. Yeah, I'm the VOD is literally paused on the moment where like you said that, you mentioned it. Like, it's literally on that exact scene. Bruh. That's really funny. That's really funny. It's a definition of foreshadowing. Never mind. Soldier's name bears a character for 10. I'm stuck reading Mihoyo stuff. I'm losing focus. I'm reading the Mihoyo dialogue and I'm losing focus. Because now my mind is just fucking absolutely on fire with this shit. Of like wanna try to think of where Sojo's plot is going. Where Nasu's taking Sojo's story. And things about Sojo. Now my mind is just fucking going. So if I want to do I gotta say that for something else. Anyway. We got some things to look at. You're new. This is cute. I love this. This is very cute. Good art style. I like that the archer and rider being the centerpiece. I really like that. Thumbs up. That's cool. And fucking goddamn media. I mean, that's neat. That they are like the centerpiece. That's pretty sick. I love that. Yeah, let's go. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, I love that. That's fucking... I love... God, cats are so pretty. God, so... Suichiro, you know how to pick them. That's so sick. Chat, what if I made this the thumbnail? I might make this the thumbnail. You know what? I might fuck around, make this the thumbnail. I don't even care. I don't even care. This is too cool to not use. I just might fuck around and do that. Because this is the Kusuke... fucking Castro episode. The angry kill face. That's all new. There should be some more new stuff in here, right? Yeah! Dude, that's so pretty! Man, Kester's beautiful, man. I can't even lie. Check the artist. Who? Yohara Hiro. What about Koyama? Oh, okay. Oh, they made another. Oh, you know that series. Another. You know that one. They made that one. Or they did the art for that one anyway. So you should know that one. But I don't know if Koyama's done any of these. He should have done at least one of them, I think. I don't think he's not done any of these, no. I do? Did I go? Actually, who's this one? Chuo... I don't want to butcher the rest of it. Let me see. Chuo... She. Who is this? Actually, I want to know because this is really cool. Oh, oh, he's an actual employee. True, it's the artist for Sai no Yuta. Well, that makes sense for the manga anyway, or the light novel. Excuse me, the light novel specifically. Which, damn, all right. But yeah, it's true. He is an actual employee. $50,000 copies. Bro did the light novel? Shit. Say less. Man. Well, what's the MO for today then? What do we got? Competition? What a loser. Illness? Relax first. Work? Won't go well. Well, to be fair, competition, what a loser. Sounds about right. I'm not very good at competitions. Illness, relax first. I do have a stomach ache. I am fighting a stomach ache. I've been fighting since yesterday. So, fair. And work won't go well. You're right, because I don't have a job. You're right. You're absolutely right. I don't have one. So, yes, you're right. It's not going well. Which, it is what it is. Sure would love to turn streaming into a job, but we can't have what we want always, can we? Insert job application. I'm not even scared of a job application, it's just I don't have one yet. Anyway, any Emmas? No. We gotta go back to farming money. We might have to spend the stream chat doing more doing the free plays. So we can get more money. And I want an excuse to play more Hanafuda. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Crack the fingers. But alright, chat. I can stop whenever I want, they say. That. Do it for this time. What an absolutely... just... amazing section we've gone through. This might be my top favorites, like for HA and Stay Now we've done. Easily. I really have no... I have no more words to add or say. Frankly, I have nothing else I could add or say. Except this was just absolutely incredible. And I can feel that we're getting close to the end now. I didn't see the percentages, I kind of just glazed over that part, but I can feel that we're close to the end. I don't know if it's going to be any more happy fun sections, right? I don't know. I hope there is, but if there's not, then fair. You wanted to end the plot. You wanted to end the story, so now it's time to end it. But alright then, chat. Hope you all enjoyed. As much as I did. Enjoyed yourself as much as I enjoyed myself. So have a good day, evening, or nights, wherever you are in the whole wide world. And hope to see you all same time, same place, next time. For one more session of Ataraxia. That's for the week, not entirely. Yeah. But until then, chat. Bye bye.